family, what's up? Come on in, come on in. I'm gonna adjust the camera. Give you guys a second to get up in here. Come on in, family, come on in, man. We got a good one today. We have a good one today. Man, we're talking about how do you know if this is the right one for you? The right one for you. Give me some water in me. Is this the right one for you, man? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Man, what's up with you, Dennis? Man, I just got nervous all of a sudden, man. man, man, is this the right one for you? Is this the right one for you? Man, I get asked a lot, man, how do you know if this is the right one for me? How do I know? Man, everything is good. I like them. We vibing. Man, everything is cool. But how do you know if this is the right one for me? Will I know if this is the right one for me? And it's a trick because if the truth be told, man, we blew it a lot. We made a lot of bad choices about, man, if this is the right one for us in the past. You know what I mean? We've thought so many people in the past was the right one for us. We thought, man, your baby daddy and all these other baby mamas and the first wife you had and the second, what's up with you, Kate? The second wife and second husband you had. We thought all these people was the right ones for us in the past. And it turned out, man, they was the demon. You know what I mean? They was the devil. They were our enemy, you know what I mean? Put it that way, you know what I mean? They wasn't the one for us. So how do we know? And so many of us, we've gone through so much. We've gone through so much, and we've had our hearts broken so many times, and we've been disappointed so many times. We thought, man, this is the one. Man, I can relax now. Man, I could let my hair down. Man, I ain't got to be in the game no more. I could get off the streets. I could stop going to the clubs and all this other stuff, looking for my king, looking for my queen, because this is the one. And it turned out that they ain't the one. And matter of fact, they hurt you more than the people in the past end up hurting you. They dog you out and use you more than the people in the past did. It turns out, man, I didn't know them as well as I thought I did. Man, they changed up on me. And it's a trip. Most people don't change up on us like that. You know what I mean? Stay with me. We're going somewhere. Most people don't change up on us at all like that. The truth is, we never really took the time to get to know them. The sex was great in the beginning. The conversation was great in the beginning. But we really didn't get to know them. And the truth is, we really didn't get to know them because we really didn't know ourselves. We didn't know who we were. And most of us still don't know who we are. So if you don't know who you are, how can you determine whether or not this is the one for you? If you don't even know who you are, if you don't even know where you're going, if you don't even know who you are, why you're here, what's your purpose, how can you make the claim that this is the one for you? And see, so many of us, man, we lose that. We don't even think about who I am, why I'm here, what's my purpose, who's doing. We don't even think about that. That never even comes up into the equation when we start looking at our soulmates. That never comes up into the equation of when we start looking at the king and queen for ourselves. Or, man, this is the one for me. And so often, so many times, man, we have good conversation with people, and man, the vibe, the energy is right. And it's like, man, you make me feel like nobody's ever made me feel before. Man, I never had these butterflies before. Man, I never thought this way before. Man, I never had goosebumps like this before. Man, I never wanted to get up and exercise and run and do all this other stuff before. Man, I never wanted to do this. And we have all these things, and we say that, man, this is the one for me. Man, they ain't told me to do this. Man, I want to change my diet. Man, they ain't told me I have to do this. Man, I want to start getting in shape. Man, they ain't said nothing to me about this, but man, I want to start changing my life. We start cutting people out of our lives. We start disconnecting people. We stop hanging out with the homies. We start hanging out with our girlfriends. We stop being on social media so much. Why? Because all of our time and energy is going into this relationship, going into building and establishing this relationship. And then you come to find out, man, they ain't the one. They're not even close to being the one. But you don't cut off all these people. You don't cut off all your friends. You don't stop talking to your family. Man, you stop doing all kinds of stuff that you was doing before. And all your time and energy is gone on into this person to build up this relationship. And then you find out, man, they're not the one. And so now you're embarrassed. You're ashamed. Because you done posted all these pictures of you and them up on your social media. Man, Mom, I think I finally found her. Man, Pops, I think I finally got her. And we got all these things we send. We sending little pictures to our friends. Man, what do you think? He's cute, huh? He's sexy, ain't he? Man, look at her, man. She's bad. Da, da, da. And we sending all this stuff out and we posting all this stuff. And man, this is the one. This is the one. This is the one. Man, I've been there. Done that. Man, this is the one, this is the one. Come to find out, what the fuck was I thinking? Man, I was on some bullshit. Man, how the fuck did I miss that? How did I miss the fact that this person was fucking satanic? You know what I mean? What's up with you, Libra love? And I don't mean satanic as in worship the devil. Man, they were just on some other bullshit. They was on a whole totally different frequency than I was. They were on some whole other, they had a total different agenda. They had a whole total different game plan than what I had. Man, what they had envisioned was totally different from where I see myself at. How do you know if this is the one? Because the truth is, the great majority of us, we want to love again, but we don't want to go through the games. We don't want to go through the experiences of being hurt again, of opening up and finding out this ain't the one. Giving ourselves to people and finding out, man, well, I've wasted time and energy again. Yep, done that again. Gave myself to another. Man, I got into church saying I wasn't having sex no more before I got married and woo. And man, I opened up and man, he was going to church with me. And man, he knew the Bible and he was quoting scriptures to me. And every morning he sent me a good morning, miss you, thinking about you with a scripture of the day and all this other bullshit. And I thought that was the one. I thought that was the guy for me. I thought that was the woman for me. And they broke my fucking heart again. We're going to be talking about self-love a lot for the next few days. Okay? Tomorrow we're going to go in on self-love. And we're going to talk about shame and forgiveness. Shame and forgiveness. And the following day, we're going to talk about self-love again. But we're going to talk about, what is it, babe? I can't even remember. Self-love, moving forward. Moving forward. Because the truth is, most of us in our 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, man, we're at that point, okay, man, how do I deal with my shame? How do I deal with forgiving? And not so much forgiving other people, but forgiving myself. So we're going to go into that tomorrow. Shame and forgiving ourselves. And then we're going to go, the next day, we're going to talk about self-love some more, but we're going to talk about how to move forward. Moving forward. Today, we're talking about, man, self-love, but we're talking about how do I know if this is the one for me? And see, here's the trick. Most of us spend more time trying to determine if this is the one for me as opposed to, am I right? Stay with me. How can you know if this is the one for you and you don't know who the fuck you are? How the hell can you know if this is the one for you and you don't know what your goals are? How the hell can you determine that this is the one you want to spend the rest of your life with and you don't even understand why you're here? You don't even understand what your purpose is. You see, this is how twisted we are. We don't think about this shit. We think, man, this is the one for me. Man, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person right here. I love this person. This person means the world to me. And we don't even understand what we're supposed to be doing with the rest of our life. We don't even understand what our mission is. See, in order for you to determine, in order for you to understand and know that this is the one for you, you have to first know what your mission is. In order for you to know that this is the one for you, you have to know where you're going. In order for you to know that this is the one for you, you have to know who you are. In order for you to know that this is the one for you, you have to know what your purpose is. Because they could be a great, loving, caring, compassionate person, but they're not compatible with your mission. And that's where we lose it at. We get fucked up over that shit. You don't know what your mission is. They're a great, loving, compassionate person, but they're not the one for your mission. Let's look at sports. You're a football player. You like football, but you want to take some guy that plays ice hockey. Both athletic individuals. Both great in their specific sports category. But they're not compatible to be on the same team, to play the same sport. Ice hockey ain't got nothing to do with football. Football has nothing to do with ice hockey. They could be great athletes, the best in their team, the best in their sport, but they can't be on the same team. How do you know this guy is the right one for you? He could be loving, compassionate, giving. Just because he's loving, compassionate, giving doesn't mean that he's designed for your mission. Just because he's loving, compassionate, giving doesn't mean that he's compatible for your mission. See, your mission is unique to you. What is it about you that makes you different and sets you aside from everybody else? Why is it that God brought you here and sent you through all the crap that you've gone through? Why have you gone through all the trials, tribulations, and turmoil, and heartbreaks, and failures, and disappointments that you've gone in? Why? Because you have a mission. You have a purpose. You have a task at hand. What is that task? What's that purpose? What's that mission? Once you understand that, now you can sit back and say, okay, yes, I want somebody loving, compassionate, and giving, but I also want somebody that's compassionate, or not compassionate, but I want somebody that's compatible with my mission. We're in the same playing field. We're in the same thing. We're going in the same direction. We're passionate about the same thing. We want to do the same thing. When I'm down and out, man, they have the ability to lift me up and to keep pushing me forward. When I'm frustrated and I'm tired and I'm ready to give up, are they still ready? Are they still willing to say, come on, babe, we got to keep moving. Come on, babe, I know you're tired. Come on, babe, jump on my back. Let me carry you for a little bit. Come on, babe, jump in my arms. Let me carry you for a while. But we have to keep moving. Come on, babe, we can't give up on our dreams. Come on, babe, we can't give up on our purpose. Come on, babe, we can't give up on our mission. See, so many of us, we misconstrue love and compassion again for somebody that's just attentive to us. Oh, they love me and they just accept me and they just allow me to do what I want to do and he's just going to pat me on the back, but he's never going to challenge me to keep going. He's just going to cook for me, but he's never going to encourage me and correct me when I need it. Oh, he's so loving and compassionate, and oh, he's so nice and da-da-da-da, and he never says anything bad to me, and he never disrespects me, and that's great. But can he correct you when you're wrong? Can he challenge you? Can he push you past your stereotypes? Can he push you past your comfort zone? Can they help you in your growth and development? Because your growth and development is not about them just sitting there patting you on the fucking back and burping you. and telling you, kumbaya, everything's okay. That's great. But can he push you past that? Can he take you past your comfort zone? Can you take him past yours? Most people run from this kind of mate. You're right, Dennis. They do. And they run from because they run from themselves. We run from who we are. We're so fixated on, and I talk about this all the time, we're so fixated and distracted with everything else. I could tell you everything about LeBron's stats. I could tell you who was the greatest of all time in basketball, football, singing, rapping, whatever your thing is, NASCAR, whatever you're into. We could talk about the greats in that, but we can't talk about who we are, why we're here, where we're going. We can't talk about, man, how we messed up and how we corrected ourselves, and we've had other people in our corner that chastised us and corrected us. I remember back in 96, single parent. And I had a dream. In my dream, I was in a boxing ring. I love boxing. I love sports, right? I love competitive sports. I love contact sports. You know what I mean? I'm a physical type of person. And so in my dream, I'm in the boxing ring, right? And I'm sitting there and my trainer's in my corner and he's got in my ears, hyping me up, right? The bell rings. I get up, I go out to the middle of the ring, the guy comes out, and I just stand there. And the guy's just pow, 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 just throwing hands, right? And I'm just standing there, just taking it, just eating them, right? But I'm never throwing my punches back. I'm never defending myself. I'm eating everything he's throwing my way. Just eat, the gut shots, boom, boom. I'm just eating them all, but I'm not defending myself at all. And my trainer's pissed. And he's yelling at me, fight. When are you going to start fighting? Elijah, you can win this fight, but you have to fight back. Elijah, when are you going to start fighting back? Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. And so, man, the bell rung, and I come back, and he gets in the ring and slaps the dog mess out of me. Bye-yow! What are you doing? Why are you wasting your life? Why are you wasting this fight? You came here to fight. You can win this fight, but in order for you to win this fight, you have to fight back. You put in all the work in training. You put in all the work in your diet and running and exercising and lifting weights and sparring. You've done all this for this moment right here. Now you're here and you're not fighting back. What's wrong with you? And the dream ended. And I came to and I was like, oh, stop. And I hear the Holy Spirit talk to me, Elijah, when are you going to start fighting back? When are you going to get in the fight? And so many of you, I'm asking you that today. When are you going to get in the fight? You've been training your whole life. You've been doing all the work you can do. You've been doing all your shadow work. You've been meditating. You've been praying. You've been studying. You've been reading a whole bunch of different stuff. You've been changing your perspective, but you never got up and got in the fight of your life. You never got up and start fighting for your life. You never got up and start fulfilling your purpose. You never got up and started walking in the calling and authority that you have. You got all this information, all this knowledge and wisdom and experiences you've had. You got all this stuff, and you're not utilizing it. You got all this stuff, and you're just going through the motions. You got all this information, and life is just beating the snot out of you, and you won't utilize the wealth of information that you have. How do you know if this is the one for you? This is what we're talking about. See, because you could go through all that stuff. You could do all the spiritual work. You could do all the crying and the snotting and the boo-hooing and doing the shadow understanding why you've gone through all the hell that you've gone through, why your daddy treated you the way he did, why your mama treated you the way she did, why your kids act the way they do, why your siblings can't stand you. You could do all the shadow work you want to, but until you get up and get in the fight, you're not utilizing the power you have. See, we don't understand that all the crap we've gone through, man, that's our superpower strength. That's true. And I sit back and I look at the Marvels and all these other superheroes. They all have a story. They all have a past. They all have something that's got them to the point to where they're at right here, right now. And so whatever they experience, to get them to this point right here, right now, it's not for them just to be right here, but it's to be able to help humanity later. We've gone through all the crap that we've gone through. That's our superpower strength. That's what strengthened you. That's what's giving you the knowledge and the wisdom and the insight that you have. Not just so that you can sit there and hoard it. Not just so you can sit there and talk about how deep and spiritual and enlightened you are. Not so you can sit there and talk about how your third eye is open and your kundalini is up, man, and your crown chakra is on fleek and woo-doo-doo. Man, it's not for that stupid shit. You've gone through what you've gone through. Why? So it can empower you and strengthen you and motivate you and challenge you to get up and do something with your life for the betterment of humanity. For the betterment of humanity. That's your superhuman strength. Every one of us are superheroes. Most of us, we don't know it yet because we're still in victim mentality. We're still stuck in that woe is me, life's not fair, and I shouldn't have to go through this, and I shouldn't have to go through this, and all these motherfuckers just broke my heart, and then it wasn't fair, and they just dogged me out, and it wasn't fair, and they just cheated on me, and it wasn't fair, and my daddy never liked me, and my mama never liked me, and we have all this woe is me shit, never even understanding that, man, you've gone through that so it can strengthen you. You've gone through that so it can be, that's the power, the source of your power within your life. How can you know who's the right one for you and you don't even know who you are? How can you know who's the right one for you and you don't even understand how the stuff you've gone through in life is there to help you? We have to grow up. We have to grow up. We spend so much time fixated on other people. We spend so much time being distracted by other people. And so you ask most people, who are you? Man, they'll tell you their title for their job. They'll tell you, oh, I'm a chef at da-da-da-da. Oh, I'm a CEO over here. I'm a police officer. I'm a police department. I'm the New York Fire Department. I'm this. We have all these titles. The titles don't mean shit. The title ain't who the fuck you are. That's how you make your money. Let me say it again. What you do for a living, how you make your money is not who you are. That's just how you make your money. That's just how you sustain yourself. That's how you pay your bills. And so we have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to understand that, man, we didn't come here just to work this in the police department. We didn't come here just to work for the fire department. We didn't come here just to be a secretary. We didn't come here just to be a teacher in school or whatever the case may be, whatever it is you do. Whether you're self-employed, man, it don't matter. It don't matter. How you make your money, man, that's irrelevant. The question isn't how you make your money. The question is, who are you? Would you be the same person if you had a different job? Would you be the same person if you were self-employed? Would you be the same person if you had your own business? Would you be the same person if you couldn't work at all? Would you be the same person if you had $1 million? Would you be the same person if you were a billionaire? That's the question. Who are you? Why are you here? And see, so many of us, we get it twisted. Oh, man, he loves me, and he has all these great ideas of how to invest money and how to make money and how to turn money and how to invest in houses and flip houses. And that's great. But who the fuck are you? That's great that he has that business sense. That's great that he understands business management. That's great that he understands money. But that's not who he is. That's not who you are. That's not your purpose. Your purpose isn't just to flip houses. Your purpose isn't to sling cars or sell whatever you sell. Man, it's great. Man, I love crystals. I've made all these chains right here, these bracelets, I'm sorry. I love crystals. It's great that you have a crystal business. You make candles, you make whatever it is, you make t-shirts, hats, hoodies, whatever you do. It's great that you're your own entrepreneur. But being your own entrepreneur has nothing to do with why you're here. What is your God-given purpose? Who that person is. Do you know who that person is? Do you really know who that person is? And when I ask, who is that person, I'm asking, what is their mission in life? What is their God-given purpose? You could tell a lot about a person by finding out what they're passionate about. I'll say it again. You can find out a lot about a person by finding out what they're passionate about. Just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean that's supposed to be your purpose. Just because you're passionate about a thing doesn't mean that's your God-given purpose. There's a lot of people passionate about getting some sex. There's a lot of people passionate about fame. It's all over social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. Man, people just want to be seen and heard. And they love that. They need that. They thrive on that. They're passionate about, man, how can I blow up my channel? How can I go viral? And I'm not one of them individuals. You know what I mean? I'm not. Man, I'm just getting a light in. You know what I mean? I don't even have a light. I need to get one because the lighting here is bad. You know what I mean? But that stuff doesn't move me. That stuff doesn't, I'm not driven by that stuff. I'm not driven by how many numbers, how many people view the videos. I'm not driven by how many people subscribe to the channels or to the platforms or any of that other stuff, because that's not the purpose. What is your purpose? Learn who you are. See, we don't want to do that though. See, because in order to do that, most of the time, man, I got to spend some time by myself. But see, most of us have spending time by ourselves fucked up. We think we're by ourselves because, man, ain't nobody good for me and I'm not good for nobody else and I'm tired of being alone and I've been alone for 5 years and I'm sick and tired of taking myself out on dates. I'm tired of taking myself to the movies. I'm tired of buying my own birthday present. But you never learned the fucking purpose and never learned the reason of why you're alone. You've had this victim mentality the whole time you was alone. Who are you? Why are you here? You have to understand that. You have to know those things. Once you know those things, now you can sit back and say, okay, you know what? I know where I'm going. I know who I am. I know why I've gone through all that I've gone through. I know my purpose. I know what God has for me to do in life. Now I can sit back and say, yes, this is the type of person I need in my life. This is the type of person I want by my side. That's going to be able to help me. And I'll be able to help them because our purpose are mutual. Our purpose are in alignment with each other. Our purpose are similar. And so we could walk this path in life together, accomplishing what we came here for. We're on the same trajectory. We're in the same line. We're in the same path. We're going in the same direction. We're supposed to be doing the same thing. And this is where we blow it. Because we never take that into consideration. We look at the people, man, she's sexy as fuck. Man, she's badass body. Man, he's so handsome, 6 foot tall and muscular and woo-doo-doo. Look at his hair, look at his eyes and blah, 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 blah. Man, he has money, he has a job, he has a car, he has a savings, he has all this shit, but he ain't got no fucking understanding who the fuck he is. He has no real understanding of who the fuck you is. And so he looks at you and he thinks, man, she's pretty as fuck, man. She's bad as fuck. And all he does is sexualize you. All he does is, man, you're great for business. We're great business partners. We both work hard. We both want a lot of money. We both want to buy a house. We both have all these financial plans and goals in line, but we have no spiritual alignment. We have no spiritual connection. Because everything we've always talked about is physical, monetary. And it's great to have that in compatibility. But you got to have more if you're talking about the right one for you. If you're talking about the God-given person for you, it has to be more than just financial. If you're talking about the right person for you, it has to be more than just sexual. If you're talking about the right person for you, can you lay in bed at night? And can you just stay there and just talk? And be in awe with each other? Can you lay there at night and just hold each other? And be one? And the energy exchange is mutual. You're holding them and they may not be holding you, but you're giving them energy and you're receiving the same type of energy back. They're giving you their energy and you're giving them your energy. My queen, man, we'll lay there. And man, I'm very masculine. She's very feminine, right? And so, but we're giving each other our energy in exchange. And so her feminine energy is coming into me and balancing me out. My masculine energy goes into her and balances her out. Because I lack that feminine energy. She lacks that masculine energy. And so just laying there, man, even though we ain't saying nothing, we just touching. And there's an exchange taking place. She's filling me up. I'm filling her up. We're not dialoguing or talking, but there's a mutual exchange taking place. A beneficial exchange taking place. A loving exchange taking place. We understand, man, I need you in my life. Because where I'm weak at, you're strong. Where you're strong at, I'm weak. And so the yin yang, we balance each other out. We fill each other's cup. We fill each other's cup. So when you start talking about, is this the right one for you? The right one for what purpose? If it's the right, if you talking about, man, I just want to make money, I just want to be wealthy, I just want to be rich, and this person got that and they doing that, okay, that's what they are. That's what they about. So if that's all you concerned with is making money, okay, that might be the right person for you to make money with. Doesn't mean they're the right person for you to live with, to be married to be in an intimate, loving relationship with. it doesn't mean that they're the right person for you to fulfill your purpose. See, and as long as you don't fulfill your purpose, you'll always have that emptiness within you. You'll always have this hole within your heart. You'll always have this yearning and longing for something more. And see, what most of us don't understand, we don't understand that yearning within us. We sit this, man, I just want something. I don't know what it is. I'm just not satisfied. I just want more in life. And, and we start blaming the person. And we start getting mad at the person that we chose to be in a relationship with. And we start blaming them and saying, it's your fault you're not filling me up. It's your fault that I have this yearning and this yearning within me. It's your fault that I have this empty space in me. You're supposed to fill my cup, but you're demanding something from them that they can't give you. They can never give you that. And you're expecting that from somebody, and they're incapable of giving it to you. And so now you're pissed and you're frustrated. And so often, so many of us, we start looking at other people. We're in a relationship, but now I'm having a conversation with somebody else. I'm looking at somebody else because, man, they're bringing to the table what I want. They're bringing to the table what I need. Because I'm missing this. I have an emptiness inside me. I have a hole that hasn't been filled. And that hole is not another person. That hole is you're not fulfilling your God-given purpose. But because you don't understand that, you think it's because this person's not good enough for you, or this person ain't the right person for you, or, man, I need somebody else to satisfy me. I need somebody else to give me some peace. I need somebody else to give me some joy. Oh, you just don't make enough money for me. If I had more money, I'll be happier. I'll be more satisfied. My life would be more complete, and I'll be more satisfied with my life. No, you won't. Because it's not about the money. It's not about the material stuff. It's about fulfilling your purpose. And you have all the money in the world. But if you're not fulfilling your purpose, you're going to have that emptiness. You're going to have that longing, that yearning. It's a trend. I've talked to so many people with so much money, and they were strung out on dope. They're strung out on just chasing the next greatest high, longing for the next fix, something to satisfy them. They're adrenaline junkies. Because I got this emptiness in me. I got this yearning and I can't satisfy it. So, man, what's the next thing I could do? Where can I put my attention? What's the next chase? And so many guys and women have it twisted. Oh, guys are constantly chasing. Guys just need to be chasing. And guys are pursuers and and they're always pursuing a woman. They're always chasing a woman and all this stupid ass shit we say. Because we don't understand purpose. The women don't understand purpose. The guys don't understand purpose. And that's why both of them are saying the same thing. Oh, guys, they just need to pursue a woman, and a woman needs to be pursued by a man, and bullshit. That's not how life is. That's not how life is supposed to work. We got to grow up. We have to grow up. You have to understand. You have to find out, man, what is your purpose? Why are you here? And only once when you find that, now you can say, okay, God, who's really compatible for me? Who's the right one for me? Now I understand what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not just experimenting with life anymore. I'm not just walking around in the dark anymore with my eyes closed, bumping into shit. I'm not just going any, mini, miny, mo, grab a dog by a toe, if he holler, let him go. We ain't doing that bullshit no more now that we fucking grown as people. That's some elementary shit. We get with motherfuckers and hope shit work out. We get with motherfuckers and we pray and beg and plead that this be the one. And then we're hating each other when we find out that, man, we missed it. You ain't the one. You ain't the one at all. You're not even close. Man, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. You cannot understand or know who's the right one for you until you know, without a shadow of a doubt, who the fuck you are and why the fuck you're here. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It's a hard pill to swallow. Because the great majority of us, we don't want to understand who the fuck we are or why we're here. That's boring. That's not what religious people taught us. That's not what society has taught us. That's not what the school systems have taught us. I got 2 doctorate degrees and I still don't know who the fuck I am or why I'm here. Because you can have all the schooling you want. You could graduate from Harvard, Yale, Princeton, any Ivy League, any big school you want to. And not one of them motherfucking raggedy ass fucking schools is gonna teach you who the fuck you are and why you're here. I don't care what you graduate. I don't care if you got a degree in psychology, sociology, humanology, none of that bullshit is gonna teach you who the fuck you are and why you're here. Your church, your religion is not gonna teach you who the fuck you are and why you're here. So how can the pastor tell you this is the right one for you? And it's a trip because we get so many people in religious groups that, man, you got to go through this group. You got to go through this class with this pastor. You got to go through this class with this preacher. You got to go through this class, this marriage class. You got to go through this marriage class over here. You got to go through this over here. And you got to go through this over here. You got all these classes you got to take with these motherfuckers, and they still don't teach you who the fuck you are and why you're here. But they got all these fucking prerequisites of what you got to go through before you get married, and the marriage is sanctioned by the fucking church, before the marriage is sanctioned by the fucking community. You got to go through all this shit before the pastor will marry you. And they'll tell you, you're supposed to pay your tithes. You're supposed to show up to church. You're supposed to be humble and meek and bow down to this man and kiss his ass and serve him. And we'll do all this bullshit, but they won't tell you who the fuck you are and why you're here. Question we have to start asking. Why? Why? And if the truth be told, our parents have never told us who we are and why we're here. Our parents, for the most part, if they're loving people and they're caring, man, they want you to get a good job. They want you to get a good education so you can be self-dependent or self-sufficient so you ain't got to be dependent on nobody. So you can take care of you and your family. Man, go to school. Man, I just want you to be happy. Go to school, get you a good education, get you a good career. So you don't have to worry about you losing your job. So you don't have to worry about you losing your house. You don't have to worry about you losing your car. Man, get a good education, baby. Man, if you got to go in debt, getting that education, go in debt because you can pay it off long run, over the long haul. Man, just get a good education and get a good job. But won't nobody tell you, none of that shit means a motherfucking thing when it comes down to who the fuck you are. Because you're not going to learn who the fuck you are in school. You're not going to learn who the fuck you are in religion. And the truth is, the government is not going to tell you who you are. People don't tell you who you are because they don't know who they are. How the hell can they tell you who you are? People want us dumbed down and stupid and ignorant of the fact of who we are. Why? Because when you don't know who you are, you're a lot more submissive. When you don't know who you are, you're a lot more controllable. See, we can control your ass with the fucking programming we give you. We can control your ass with indoctrination. And the fear of hell, the fear of you being ostracized and criticized and belittled and dismissed by your community. So we're going to control your ass with fear. Fear of failure. Fear of not being good enough. And so what most of us do, we spend our entire fucking life trying to go to school or trying to prove that we're good enough. We want our jobs, our bosses, and our superintendents, and our pastors, and our bishops, and our Sunday school teachers. We want everybody to know that we're good enough. And we never fulfilled our purpose. We've never walked in our authority. Because we're trying to be what everybody else wants us to be. We're trying to do everything that everybody else wants us to do. And the truth is, that's the conflict within us. That's why so many of us, man, we're just like, I just can't understand why I'm so frustrated, why I'm so torn, why it's like I'm going through this war, this battle in my head, and I can't put my fingers on it. What the fuck is going on? And so we start drinking and smoking and popping pills and doing all kind of other stupid shit to quiet the noise. And all the noises is God talking to you, saying, man, hey, that's not what you're here for. Hey, that's not why I brought you here. Hey, that's not why you gone through all that shit. Hey, that's not why you here, right now. Hey, there's something more with you. Hey, there's something supposed to be taking place with you. Hey, you have more to you than what you see. Hey, and so we're battling these demons in our head, so we say. What we don't understand, we often demonize. What we don't understand, we dismiss. And so God is trying to talk to us. God is trying to call us. God is trying to get our attention to wake the fuck up and start walking in our purpose and understand who the fuck we are. But we're so stuck on stupid shit. We're so stuck on our religion. We're so fucking stuck on our routine. This is what I've always done. My daddy did this. My mama did this. My grandma did this. My great-great-great-granny did this. And we're stuck on this stupid shit. Because everybody else is doing it. That's what everybody else is doing. That's what most of the people are doing. Everybody gets on social media and just plays and just posts shit and put up pictures and just and everybody's frustrated. Everybody takes their ass to a job they don't really like and they complain about it. And man, they don't want to go and they want to leave early and take long lunches and all this stupid ass shit. Everybody just does this. And so we're just trying to fit in. Why? Because when you fit out, people look at you different. When you don't fit in like everybody else, when you're not quote unquote normal like everybody else. See, it takes a strong person to go against the grain. It takes a strong person to say, man, fuck that. I'll be the black sheep. It takes a strong person to say, oh, hell no. I'm not doing that bullshit. You motherfuckers are miserable as fuck over there. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing that shit. You can say what the fuck you want to say, but you can say I'm going to hell because I wear earrings. You can say I'm going to hell because I got on crystals. You can say I'm going to hell because I got tattoos. You can say I'm going to hell or they're going to hell because they're homosexual, they're gay or whatever the fuck you say. Man, they're going to hell. You got all this stupid shit that people say. And the truth is, we don't want to stand out. We don't want to stand out. Because we don't know who we are. So we try to stay up under the radar. We don't want the attention on us. We don't want to be noticed. And so we stay right up under the radar. So many people watch the videos and they just stay in the background. Don't say shit, won't comment, won't subscribe, but they'll watch. And they'll just watch and watch. And that's great. But at some point, in order for you to fulfill your purpose, at some point, in order for you to walk in your authority, you're going to have to man up. You're going to have to woman up and go against the grain. Most people aren't courageous enough to do that. Most people are cowards by nature because we've been programmed to be that way. That's why they beat us over the head with fear. When you come home from school and you wilding out and your parents start yelling at you, you learn to shut the fuck up. You learn to go hide out in the corner somewhere. Why? Because I don't want daddy getting mad. I don't want to piss mama off. Because we know mama ain't wrapped too tight and mama gonna beat the snot out of us. So we learn to walk that fine line. I'm gonna act bad enough, but I know my place. I'm not gonna cross that imaginary line. I'll walk on the line to where I don't get the attention, where she don't beat the shit out of me. And we've learned to do that in society. We're miserable as fuck. We complain about our lives, but we won't do the necessary things to change our lives. And so we just sit back and we start popping pills, drinking, and getting lost and distracted with social media and everything else. Because we've learned how to conform to their fucking programming, to their expectations and their demands. Because we don't know who the fuck we are. We don't understand and realize that we're like Jesus. We came here to flip over fucking tables. We came here to go into the temples and chase them raggedy motherfuckers up out the temples and to flip over their fucking money and to disrupt their businesses and all that other bullshit. We came here to be a beacon of hope, a beacon of love, a beacon of light in this dark fucking world. How can you be a beacon of love, a beacon of light, a beacon of hope if you're just like everybody fucking else? How can you be different and be this beacon if you're so busy conforming and doing what everybody else is doing? And this is the woke generation. This is the chosen one generation. Everybody's a fucking chosen one, but ain't nobody doing shit different. Everybody's a fucking chosen one. Everybody's fucking enlightened. Everybody's fucking, and they're just as conformed as everybody else. And they're just as miserable as everybody else. One of the things that I had to learn was, man, when I started the platform and it started growing was, man, it's great that it's growing. Man, God bless it, man. I'm glad that it's growing. But I didn't come here to be like everybody else. I didn't come here to say the same bullshit that everybody else is saying. I didn't come here to say the right shit to tickle your fucking feathers, to tickle your fucking fancy, to tickle your fucking ears. I didn't come here to say the right shit, to pat you on the fucking back and say, kumbaya, it's okay, and who do. No, I came here to write some fucking shit up. I came here to flip the shit over. You came here for the same purpose. You came here to stand out. How the fuck are you gonna stand out fitting in? Let me say it again. How can you stand out when you're so busy fitting in? See, everybody talking about the chosen one. Everybody talking about being enlightened. Everybody talking about being woke ain't woke. Everybody talking about being chosen ain't chosen. Everybody talking about being woke ain't woke. Everybody rocking crystals don't mean they understand them. Everybody talking about God don't mean they have an intimate relationship with God. Most people talking about God have an intimate relationship with fucking religion, not God. Not God. When are we going to wake up and understand that? How do I know if this is the one for me? I have to first know me. I have to know me. Not to conform to me. Not to confuse me. Not to distract me. And see, most of us, if we're honest, if you look at drug addicts, and drug addicts will tell you this, man, guys and women, the guys that have been, or whatever, that was on drugs together, or they had this addiction. We have this thing called trauma bonds. Because we have trauma, similar traumas, man, our energy's on the same frequency. So we're attracted to each other. We have this thing in common. We have this struggle in common. And so we attach ourselves together. And that's one of the worst things you can do. It's one of the worst things you can do. And the truth is, just like we're all broken. We're all broken. I'm at that. Maybe we're going to talk about that next week, next Saturday. What it means to be broken. What it means to be broken. I have a book coming out, The Value of Being Broken. And see, we don't understand that. You look at people that have got injured real bad and they can't walk. They've been in a wheelchair for a long time. They've had an arm or a leg in a splint or a cast for a long time. What do? They have to learn how to reuse it. Stay with me, I'm about to drop something. You've had your leg broken, your arm broken. You got to go to physical therapy. You have to re-strengthen it. You have to learn how to stand. You have to learn how to strengthen that arm again. You have to learn how to strengthen that leg again. It's healed. It's healing, but you have to strengthen it. You have to learn how to stretch it so you have the flexibility. Why? Because you've been broken. You've been damaged. You've been hurt. The same thing is true for love. The same thing is true for relationships. See, we've been hurt. And the truth is, most of us, we've never from the gate learned how to live and love in a healthy way. Because most of us grew up in toxic environments where we understood conditional love. Our love and our parents' love was conditional whether we were good or bad. If we was acting up and stuff. When we was messing up, man, they were dogging us up and telling us how stupid we was and what do and beating us and da-da-da-da and just dogging us the fuck out. Because we were bad. Or we disappointed them. We let them down. Or when we did something good, man, they wanted to praise us and give us hugs and kisses and we're so proud of you, all this stuff. And so what we learned from that is if I do something good, they'll love me. They'll praise me. They'll accept me. If I mess up, they're going to tear me down. They're going to be disappointed. They're going to be mad. They're going to reject me. And so we learn this twisted concept of conditional love and always trying to appease others. Yes, Dennis, we're going to talk about no healthy boundaries. That's going to be part of the self-love series that we're going to talk about. And so we grow up messed up when it comes to love. And so now that we're older, now that we've gone through some shit, now that we're trying to wake up, now that we're trying to understand who we are and why we have to understand love. Because at our core, we're love. We have to learn how to love again. How to love again. And most of us, a lot of us, we've never learned how to love in the first place. So we have to learn how to love. Not like our daddy loved us, not like because they were hurt. And so their expression of love came from their hurt, their pain that they never resolved. But we as kids didn't know that they were hurt. We as kids didn't know that they were traumatized. We just saw their love, their quote unquote love. And we thought that was love. And then we get in a relationship and that person dog us out. That person said they love us and went through it, and that person dog us out. And so that adds to our concept of this twisted concept of love. And so we have this love hurts. Love don't hurt. Love don't hurt. The reality is those people were hurt. And because they hadn't resolved their issues, resolved their trauma, their pain, they hurt you. Out of their hurt, out of their suffering, out of their baggage, out of their trauma and drama, they hurt you. So most of us don't really know what love is. So how do you love when you don't know what love is? How do you love when you don't know what love is? How do you love when you have a twisted concept of what love is? And so you can't love you, and you can't love others. You think you do, based on your twisted concept of love from your childhood and from your past relationships. And so you taste that twisted concept of love. And now you're trying to choose the right one for you out of a twisted concept and belief in love. Out of a damaged understanding of love. Out of a damaged understanding of yourself. You're trying to choose the right one for you. And your concept of you is damaged. Your concept of love is damaged. And so you keep picking and choosing out of your damage, out of your trauma, out of your ignorance, out of your pain. So how do you know this is the one for you? If you like being broken, if you like staying broken, if you like staying suicidal and depressed and full of fear and anger and all this other stuff, if that's what you want out of life, if that's the path you want to stay on, if all you want is money and superficial stuff, and that's all that person's talking about, then that's the right one for you. Do you? But if you're talking about your chosen one, if you're talking about you're a star seed, if you're talking about you're a child of God, if you're talking about you're a rainbow warrior, if you're talking about, man, you're enlightened, you're woke, you're talking about you're spiritual, man, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. And we have to heal and change our perception of who we are and why we're here. We have to change our perception of what love is. Only then can we really sit back and honestly assess whether or not this is the right one for me. Up until that point, you're guessing. And you're guessing out of your hurt and your pain, out of your past drama and trauma. That's all you're doing. And you're going to continue that cycle of choosing broken relationships. You're going to choose, and you can continue that cycle of choosing and being attracted to and attached to broken people, regardless of how much money they have, regardless of how successful they look. They're broken. When you get to the point of being sick and tired, of being sick and tired, of making the same mistakes over and over and over. Man, why do I keep choosing the same type of guys? Why do I keep choosing the same type of women? And I just keep, man, everything's good for a week or two, for a month, 3 months, and then I get tired, I'm frustrated, I start seeing the real them, or they start changing. No, the motherfuckers ain't changing. They've always been that way. You know what I mean? They've always been that way. Stockholm Syndrome, yeah. We've talked about that on this video, Dennis, a couple of times. I have to do another video on the Stockholm Syndrome. But that's exactly right, though. You know what I mean? We're stuck. We're stuck. And we don't realize how stuck we are. We don't realize how broken we are. We don't realize how damaged we've been. And because we don't realize how damaged we are, we can't choose and we can't say that, man, this is the right one for me. We can't sit here and say that, man, this is where I'm supposed to be going. This is my God-given purpose. This is my calling of my life. Because I'm broken. And I don't understand how broken I am. Because I'm normal. I'm just like everybody else. And I'm comparing my brokenness to everybody else's brokenness. And I don't seem to be that bad. Because at least I'm not damaged like them. At least I'm not messed up like them. And so we're constantly comparing ourselves to everybody else. We're constantly trying to fit in. We're constantly trying to be accepted and be like other people. Because we don't understand that we came here to be different. We don't understand that we came here for a higher calling. We don't understand. We came here to stand out. And if you've never healed, how can you heal others? If you've never healed, how can you help others? If you never healed, how can you be a beacon of hope and love? If you're just like everybody else. If you're broken like everybody else. If you're frustrated and depressed and suicidal just like everybody else. Man, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to understand who we are. Man, you don't realize how vital, how important that is. We don't get it. We don't understand it. Because we've never been taught it. We've been taught to fit in. We've been taught to be like everybody else and do what everybody else is doing. This is one of the problems that I've had with religion, especially Christianity, because I was part of Christianity. We would come to church and we would quote scriptures, we would read the Bible, jump, shout, preach, lay hands on people, and all this other stuff, broken. And we never understood how broken we were. And we never did anything to try to get that brokenness healed. All we kept doing was just bring it to Jesus, bring it to Jesus, bring it to Jesus. Jesus is going to fix it. And Jesus never fixed it because Jesus ain't gonna fix it. God ain't never fixed it because God ain't gonna fix it. That's our job. That's our job. That's our responsibility. That's why you got millions of people sitting in church Sunday after Sunday, crying out to Jesus, praying, paying their tithes and offering, being faithful to church, and never dealing with their real issues. But they put on this facade. Man, I'm dressed, sanctified, highly favored. Man, God has blessed me, and I'm so righteous and sanctified, and we dress the part. And we're broken. We're frustrated. We're depressed. We have anger. We have fear. We have all this up, and then we sit there and we justify it and say, well, I'm a work in progress. No, the fuck you ain't, because you ain't never start working on yourself. Let me say it again. As Christians, we take on this persona and we justify our ignorance and we justify our brokenness and say, well, God's not finished working on me. I'm a work in progress. God ain't never started working on you. And so you're never going to get fixed because you're waiting for God to fix something and God's waiting for you to get up off your raggedy ass and fix it your damn self. And that's why you can be in church for 30, 40, 50 years and still be broke and busted and disgusted. That's why people go to church for their whole damn life and have the same issues, the same trauma and drama. Never learn how to heal and deal with that shit. Never learn how to overcome their brokenness, how to overcome their pain and their suffering, how to overcome being raped and violated, how to overcome being abandoned and rejected by their family, and we got all this baggage and pain and suffering, and we're waiting for God to fix it. And God ain't gonna fix it because the religious folks have told you just give it to God. Because the people before them told them just give it to God. You don't have enough faith. That's why it hasn't gotten fixed. You don't have enough faith. Just pray more, cry more, plead more, fast more, do all this shit. And after you do it, you're still broken. You're still busted and disgusted. You're still frustrated. You're still mad. And that's why there's so many people so fed up with church. That's why there's so many people leaving the church. Because the church has told people all you got to do is pray about it. The church has told people all you got to do is just bring your burdens to the God, to the Lord. And he'll take care of them. He'll fix them. And when he doesn't, they say just have faith. They say in divine timing, he'll fix it. In divine timing, he'll take that yoke from you. And so we have to grow up. We have to stop playing the game. We have to stop playing the game that everybody else is playing. And that's why this word, when people like me get up here and we talk about stuff like this, and we talk about stuff that goes against the grain, we talk about stuff that goes against what normal, average Christians and other people are talking about, it sets them off. Because your programming, your indoctrination is so strong, you get pissed when people challenge your beliefs. You get angry when people tell you, man, you got to grow the fuck up. The way you think is twisted. I mean, it is what it is. Do you? You know what I mean? But that's not going to help you at all. That's not going to help you grow. That's not going to help you heal. And we get pissed when people attack our belief system. And so that's why people in church get divorced just as fast as people that don't have God. That's why people in church get divorced at the same rate as the people that don't believe in God. The people that got Jesus, people that got the Holy Ghost, people that are saved, sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, water baptized, running for Jesus, they get divorced just as fast as everybody else. Why? Because they're still waiting on Jesus to fix their fucking problems. They're still waiting on God to fix their fucking problems. They haven't understood that it's a self-work thing. They haven't understood, man, you got to save your damn self. You have to save yourself. You have to fix yourself. You have to fix yourself. And you can't fix yourself doing the same bullshit that everybody else is doing that's broken. That's a recipe for frustration. That's a recipe for despair. That's a recipe for more brokenness and bitterness and anger. Because you're going to grow up and realize, man, I wasted all this time going to church and reading this stuff and believing this stuff and doing this stuff, and it never works. You start believing that God don't exist. God can't be real. It's not that God's not real. It's that you learned about God from broken people who never had a relationship with God. How do you heal yourself? We're going to be talking about that over the next couple of days. That's part of the shame. That's part of the self-love. It's part of the self-love concept that we're going to be talking about over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, we're talking about self-love and shame and forgiveness. And then the next day after that is, what is it, babe? What is it? Moving forward. Actually, before we talk about moving forward, there's going to be a correction. We're going to talk about healthy boundaries. And then we're going to talk about moving forward. Man, in order to find the right one for you, you have to find you. That's a prerequisite. You have to know who you are. And 99% of us, we're looking for the right one, and we don't even know who we are. Which is so back-asswards. That's not even logical. That's insane. It's insane to be looking for the right one for you, and you don't even know who you are. Man, we got to grow up. And I know people don't like hearing that, especially grown folk. We don't like hearing that because we think we're already grown. And that's part of the illusion. That's part of the programming and the brainwashing and the indoctrination. Man. Again, tomorrow we'll be coming on 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be talking about self-love, and we'll be talking about self-love for several days. And the conversation tomorrow is going to be self-love, shame, and forgiveness. because so many of us carry so much shame. So many of us carry unforgiveness, and we don't know how to forgive ourselves. And then we're going to talk about healthy boundaries. We're going to talk about self-love still. Self-love, healthy boundaries. Most of us never even heard of that concept of healthy boundaries. And it's weird because it's like a new thing now. You hear everybody talking about healthy boundaries. Why the fuck now? I'm 53 years old. We just now, maybe the last few years, 3, 4 years, people have been talking about healthy boundaries. That's like a cliche, like a real hot topic point. Healthy boundaries. Why the fuck is healthy boundaries just something that just now coming on mainstream, that we're just now within the last few years talking about it? We want to talk about healthy boundaries because healthy boundaries is essential for self-love. Shame, releasing that shame and forgiveness is essential for self-love. You cannot have self-love. You cannot love you and be shameful. You cannot love you and be carrying shame around. You can't do it. You cannot have self-love and be walking around with unforgiveness for you and not able to forgive yourself. You can't. So we're talking about that first. Then we're talking about healthy boundaries. So many of us don't understand healthy boundaries because we don't understand love. When you have self-love, you automatically already have healthy boundaries. But we don't have self-love, nor do we have healthy boundaries. And then we're going to move on to moving forward. Moving forward. So as we talk for the next few days, we'll be talking about how do you heal yourself. If you look at my videos on this channel, there's over 1,000 videos. This is what we talk about all the time. You know what I mean? Growth and development. Healing our traumas, healing our dramas, healing and growing from our past experiences. Learning the essential lessons from those experiences. Learning how to stop being a victim. Learning how to move out of survival mode. That's what this platform is all about. It's healing the mind, healing the body, and becoming whole. If you like more information as for the men, we have a private group or small group that we meet at 3:30 on Saturdays through Zoom. Home, HOME, and it's healing our men emotionally. You have all the muscles, you have all the tattoos, all the money, but if you don't have any emotional stability, if you haven't healed your traumas, you're a fragmented person. You're shallow. You're a shell of who you are capable of being. We have another part of that for us women. Whole, WHOLE. That's a small group that we meet at 6 o'clock on Saturdays Eastern Standard Time. And whole stands for we're healing our ladies emotionally. We're healing our ladies emotionally. If you'd like to be part of that, man, just send me a message, and man, I'll get on my email. My wife's putting the information up right now on the thing. Just send us the email. We'll send you the link, and man, we'd love to connect with you guys. Again, I hope and pray that something's been shared, something's been said that's inspired you, that's encouraged you, that's uplifted you, that's challenged your belief system. You cannot grow, you cannot reach your full potential holding on to your old belief systems. You're comfortable, you're stagnant. Your growth and development has been stagnated. You have to grow, you have to stretch beyond where you are. Man, I love you guys, my beautiful queen and I. We love you guys. We thank you for being part of this tribe. And we thank you for coming on this platform and sharing your beautiful energy. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your questions. I hope that they've been answered or they will be answered within the next couple of days. Man, we love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.